Hi there. I want to talk about something really important today, which is prospecting for your PPC agency. If you want to grow your digital marketing agency, then prospecting to win new clients is the heartbeat of growing the business. So let's start with a really simple thing, which is the concept of cause and effect. You can't have an effect without a cause. And if the effect that you want is new clients, then you need to put the cause in place, which is predictable prospecting. If we start there, then we can build and go through the processes to regularly bring in new business in a flow by design, not by accident. Referrals are great, but you can't predict them, you can't plan for them. The way you plan for growth is to take control of it with a predictable prospecting system. So let's start with something that often gets overlooked, and that's planning. Think about, what do you actually want to achieve? Let's say your goal is 5 new clients every month. So if you want 5 new clients, how many sales presentations do you need to make to close 5 clients? Maybe it's 10. You close 1 client for every 2 presentations. So to get 10 sales presentations, how many people do you need to speak to? Maybe it's 50. So 50 conversations lead to 10 sales presentations. Okay. To speak to 50 people, how many outbound contacts do you need to make, perhaps by LinkedIn or email or even cold calling, to get those 50 conversations? Maybe it's 200. So we know that if we want 5 clients by the end of the month, we have to start by putting in the effort to do 200 outbound contacts. So 200 in a month, that's roughly 10 a day. So if we are not consistently doing 10 daily outbound contacts, we're not going to hit our goal and we're going to struggle. So it's really important that we understand our goal at the end of the month and the daily habit that has to happen to reach that goal. Otherwise we'll fail. So once we know what that goal is, we document it and we need to block out the time in our calendar to make sure we achieve it. If I need to do 10 outbound contacts today, how long do I need to block out in my calendar to achieve it? That will vary depending on what type of prospecting we're doing, whether it's email or calling or whatever. But the point is, set enough time in your calendar to do it properly every day. It should be the highest priority appointment in your calendar every day, not movable for anything other than a major crisis. Now think about the time of day that's going to work best for you. And there are 2 parts to this. Part 1 is you. When do you work best? When are you going to be at peak performance to put the best prospecting effort in? That might be first thing in the morning. It might be last thing in the day. I don't know your personal rhythms. Personally for me, morning's great. But that isn't necessarily the case for you. So you need to get your element right, but think about the people you're prospecting to as well. That's the second part of this. You need to make sure that they are available to be reached when you're trying to reach them. So let's take the example of a dentist. A dentist will typically be in doing patient work during the morning hours and during the afternoon hours. So if you want to make contact with a dentist, then before surgery starts, say perhaps before 9, at lunchtime, and at the end of the day, are there peak times to reach those people? If that's who you want, then you need to match your best hours with their best availability to get the best outcome. That's how you need to think about it. Look at both sides of it. Now, it might be if you're after dentist office managers, they're there all day. It's less critical when you're going to speak to them, but you might still find sometimes a day work better than others. So put those 2 things together for maximum impact. Now, when you're conducting your prospecting activities, make sure you record everything. How many outbound contacts did you make? How many conversations did you have? How many yeses did you get? How many sales appointments did you book? How many clients did you close? Log all of those things on a daily basis. It doesn't matter whether you use Excel, whether you use a Google Sheet, whether you use a CRM like Pipedrive. What matters is you record it and you capture it, so you can look at the patterns, you can look at the learning. Because the next thing is not only holding yourself accountable to doing the work, but measuring, taking a look back at the outcomes that you achieved from it. Did you hit the numbers that you expected? If not, why not? If the level of prospecting effort was right, was it the response to the prospecting? If you got fewer responses than you expected, maybe it was the message, maybe it was who you were targeting, maybe it was the time of day. Test new things to find what works the best. Every step along that journey, from first prospecting activity right through to becoming a client, can be measured, can be tracked, and can be learned and improved upon. So make sure you're taking those learning opportunities. Be objective, be critical. Say, okay, I've only got a 10% response rate at this point in the process. What do I have to do to make it 15? What can I try? What can I test? And make sure that even when conversations don't go well, that you learn why they don't go well. Take the time to reflect. Improve your process, improve your script, improve your messaging, maybe improve your follow-up times. Whatever it needs to be, take the learning. There is no failed process. It doesn't matter if you don't get the outcome you want. What matters is you learn from it and you make it better for the next time. And that's how you'll hit a long-term goal for it. Once you have a process, then make that process more efficient by introducing prospecting tools. That you will almost certainly be doing B2B prospecting because you're trying to reach other business owners to get them to become your client. And there are some great B2B prospecting tools out there that you can use. Whether you're using LinkedIn, whether you're using email, whether you're cold calling, there's a tool for each of those approaches. Some of the best prospecting tools that we've seen on LinkedIn, for example, LinkedIn Helper is fantastic. If you're prospecting on Facebook, then the POD prospecting tool is awesome. If you want a standalone prospecting tool, Lead Kahuna works really, really well. Choose the tools that fit the workflow that you've got. I'm not here to tell you which is the best prospecting method. They all have the pros and cons, and they can all be made to work with the right effort. What matters is you use the right tools for the job. And when your process works and when your tools work, then and only then is it the time to outsource and scale. Don't ever try and scale by outsourcing a broken process. If you want to get 5 clients a month and you running the process is only getting 1, handing that over to an outsourcer isn't going to change that. So don't try. When you've got it dialed in and you've got it working, then hand it over and set a challenge to make it even better. But don't expect somebody else to fix your broken process. So that's it. Start with the end in mind. Start with your goal, how many clients you want to get. Build out the process, learn and scale. And if you do that, then your agency can grow on autopilot. You've got a predictable system that's going to generate you clients this week, next month and next year. Have a great day. Grow your agency. Bye for now.